welcome to another edition of Talking Models. Today I got a special one for you, an oldie but a goodie. A blast from the past. How many of you remember the year 1964? Man, makes me cough just thinking about it. Of course, I was only 2 years old, and I had never heard of Aurora. I had never heard of the monsters. I know, I was sheltered. But I'll tell you what, that's when this gem was released. 1964 for a whopping $4.98. Try to find that original Aurora Big Frankie for $4.98. It ain't gonna happen. But in 2008, Moebius Models re-released Big Frankie for all of us baby boomers, all of us collectors. Well, today we're going to let you take a look at Big Frankie. I finally decided to take a shot at building this. I've had it since it came out and decided it was time to bring him to life. So I'm going to spin him around a minute. You can see he has his chain, his rock that he had to carry. You can spin him around. He's a biggie. I'll kind of just gently kind of turn him around here. And you can see all the beauty in this large plastic kit. So many memories putting this together and painting it. I felt like I was 12 years old again. You know, when you first got that monster from Kmart, wherever you went, to a local hobby shop, wherever you went to get them Aurora monsters, you walked in and there they were on the shelf and you were like, Mom, Dad, can I borrow 98 cents? Yeah, 98 cents. Get one of those things? And they always said, sure. But when you asked for $4.98, woohoo! In 64, huh? So, we're going to talk a little bit about what I did with this beautiful kit. The whole thing, I bought a new airbrush. It's the Badger Vega. And it's really good for putting base coats on, larger needle. And that thing sprayed like a breeze. So what I did is I used their black primer from Badger, and I sprayed the whole thing with that primer. Of course, on my Lazy Susan over there, and just spin it around and get great coverage. That, I wanted to go a little deeper with the black, and if you've watched my videos, you know what I mean. So I enlisted my Anita's black acrylic. Get it in the big jar, about $5, buddies. So I bought that, and of course then I base coated the whole thing in that black. Now the fun begins. So for his boots, I just decided to keep them black. No type of highlights, anything like that, just keep them black. Could have dirtied them up, but I just wanted to go black. So I've mentioned this before, Freak Flex line of paints, one of the most striking flat blacks I've ever seen, body bag black. That was used for his boots, sprayed it all on, covered the whole area, boom, boots are done. Now for his pants, I enlisted Freak Flex Mummified Brown. That's what was used for his pants. I gave it a nice coat all the way around his pants. Just make sure you cover it all well. And then you're going to come in and shade it. For that, I came in and used transparent black. And just kind of hit the shadows everywhere around the pants. Anywhere that you see indents of the sculpt, just hit it with some black. And then come back in with your mummified brown and hit all the highlights. All the raised areas, if you will. Just come back in and gently hit them. Doesn't take no time at all. And his pants is done, believe it or not. Next, for his little Ellie Mae Clampett belt, you remember the Beverly Hillbillies? Ellie Mae always had the rope to keep her jeans on. So he has the same thing on this. So for that, I enlisted from that Badger Freak Flex line. And this color is Rotten Tooth Tan. And I just airbrushed this whole thing with that. And it's done. Then I came in with, I know I have it over here, transparent raw umber. Maybe I don't have it over here. Yes, from Jesse over at Garage US Colors. Just came in with that transparent raw umber and just gently misted it over the belt area. Then you come back in real lightly with a fine brush. Just revisit this with that Rotten Tooth tan. And look at that, boom, done. Now for a shirt over the black, we just basically used some gray color on that. And for that we chose, let's see here. Thought I had them in order, sorry guys. Gravestone Gray. So with that, I just come in and just basically misted the whole piece. Below here where you see it, up here, and then it's basically just coming back in with your transparent black, hitting the folds of the shirt, and then coming back in with the original color and just hitting the highlight areas of the shirt. Anywhere you see the tops of the folds, around the neck area, the collar area, just hit it a little bit heavier with your original color. And when you come in closer, you're going to see with an airbrush, as you come in closer, the color is going to pop more. It's going to be bolder. So come in any highlighted area, raised area that you want to cover, come in closer and just punch it. If you get a little crazy, don't worry about it. Come back in with the transparent black, quiet it all back down, back and forth process until you get what you want. And his shirt was done. Now for his jacket, we chose Road Rash Brown from the Freak Flex line of paints again. These are really good. I've always been a fan, and still am, of Jesse's paints, the Garage US Colors. My rack is full of Jesse's paints. Hear that, Jesse? I'm a fan, but I'm also a fan of these. I seen these last year at Wonderfest, and Ken from Badger had them at his table. Can't beat the price, guys. He was selling, I think, the whole set for $65 or $70 for 60. Yes, 60 paints. Dude, come on, man. And these things, I'm telling you, shake them up, put them in the airbrush, boom, no clogging. So I sprayed this whole thing with that Road Rash Brown, covered the whole areas here, everywhere you see. Now you come back in, now the shading begins. For that, I used a combination of things. Let's see here. Transparent dark brown. Came in and punched in all the shadows with that to give you a little bit of a difference from the browns. I mean, this thing's just loaded with the areas where you need to shadow. The indentations, the highlights, the folds, everything's there. Punch it in with your transparent dark brown. Come back in with your original color, whatever you chose. In my case, the Road Rash Brown. And just revisit it back and forth process. Yes, back and forth till you get what you want. Get in there with that airbrush. Get all the highlighted areas a little harder on the top, folds of the top of the cold here. Just hit it hard. You spin it around, it's the same thing. Just hit all the folds. All the folds. Just keep going. Back and forth process, guys, until you get exactly what you're looking for. And before you know it, my Lazy Susan's out of control. You'll be done with it. And then, of course, what I always like to do is I come back in with the transparent black and the waltz. Remember? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 over the entire coat area. And it's done. That's all that was done with the coat. For this rock that he's carrying, again, I just stayed simple, so I used the same colors as I was using before. I brought out that gray again, just gently covered the whole thing over the black of the rock, just hit it with that. Then it was shading with the transparent black, and I also shaded that with transparent raw umber, just to give it a little bit of a brown hue to it. Just punched it in all the indentations of the rock itself, and back and forth process with the gray, the transparent black, and the transparent raw umber. And that's all I did with that. The chains over the black, what I did with that is I enlisted one of my favorite colors, the red oxide. And I've mentioned in earlier videos, if you use this over a black, it almost gives you a rust look. And that's what you see here. I use this, and then of course transparent black was used to just tone it, quiet it all down. You may hear it in every video. I like quiet, I like calm, bringing things down. Boom. So that was a back and forth process. Around the rock area here, I just kind of put some reddish there to make it look like the chains had created rust on the rock. And on the top of this, there's two letters, FR. And for that, I just airbrushed in the center of that. I used Frankenflesh, and I just kind of gently just filled in the inside of the lettering for that. That's the rock and the chain. Now on to the skin for good old Big Frankie. Little process with that one. I used a couple different colors for him. I used these here, which again, Freak Flex line. Frankenflesh was my main choice for color. I just misted the hands and the face, the whole thing, just shot it with that. Then I came in with transparent black and just kind of toned it down, that quietness I spoke of. Hit some of the shadows, went a little heavier with the transparent black below the brow area here of his forehead, because to give him that sunken in look that Frankenstein always had. A little heavier on his lips area to give him that just black dead look. And just hit some different areas of the face, shaded it in with the black. Same with the hands. Over that green, I just came in and punched in everywhere you see shadows, dirtied it up a little bit on his hands, all in the areas of the fingers. Heavier for the fingernails with the transparent black to give it that black fingernail look that you see. And then I came in with the Ill-Got Green and just kind of hit all punched in, start sporadically spreading that over his face area. Up here in the tops of the forehead, top of the nose, sides of the nose, above the lips, chin area, cheek area, ear area, tops of the fingers, you know, where your knuckles meet, below and above the knuckle. Inside the hands, you want to hit, you know, the palms area, everything here with that green. And then what I did is I kind of just misted the complete piece, you know, further back with that transparent black, kind of bring it all back down. And then I came in back in with the Frankenflesh and just hit the highlighted areas lightly. Tops of the nose, cheekbones, forehead, chin area, tops of the hands, a little bit on the palm areas, just everywhere that you would see. And then once I did that, it was just a gentle, probably about this far back, with the misting of the transparent black to calm the face and hands back down. Then I came in with some blue, light blue paint, and what I did here is I just hit the veining real lightly with the blue. Scratched that with the airbrush. I came in with a blue pastel and just kind of just worked it in for the hands area, and then a light misting of the green over that, and makes it look like it's below the skin, just like if you would look at your hand. And that took care of his hands and his face, believe it or not. Then I came in with another favorite color of mine from Jesse, is transparent Mars Red. These are great, these transparents from Jesse. Boom. And then I just hit all the areas. Below his eyes, a little heavier, little lines on the face. Everywhere there's a line and crevice on his face area, I hit it with that transparent Mars Red. And just kept working it in, lightening it up on the crinkles, and just working that in his face, just a little bit here in the lines. Everywhere there's a line on your face, like here, 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 I punched it in with that transparent Mars Red. Use that transparent Mars Red on the scar areas that go along the head, on here, just punched it in with that, with a real fine airbrush. Just come in, steady hand, follow the lines, and you're done. Then I came in with a red, I believe it was Badger Freak Flex, I don't have it out here, Ripper Red, and I just took a fine brush and did the center of each scar with that so it would stand out a little bit. And that was it with the scar areas. For the pieces of plates that you see all around his scar areas, I enlisted here Silver Bullet from Freak Flex Badger line here. And I just basically just lightly dry brushed each little strip of staple all the way around it. And that, and of course the neck bolts were also treated with that. The neck bolts, I actually loaded that into the airbrush, the fine airbrush, and I just kind of lightly sprayed. I didn't want brush marks that you could get sometime. And this I didn't care so much. Comes out fine. Then you can always take that transparent black and just kind of dull that down a little bit so it's not too stark and it looks a little worn. For his eye area, we used, let's see here, bleach bone tan was used for the eye. For the basic eye color, I just took an airbrush, fine airbrush, blew that in. Base of the eye was done. The pupil's already cut there. There's just a hole in there for the black. So that's already done. And for the inside of his eye area, I used a real light tan and just kind of followed the circle in. And eye is done. Below the eye inside, I always like to get that red in there. Again, red oxide was used, and you just follow that area right below his eye. You just kind of take your finest brush, do a little line there, like a waltz with the airbrush. You just then go back again. If you miss some, so 1, 2, 3, boom, the eye is done. And that is Big Frankie from Moebius Models. You can see he's a biggie. I was scared of this thing for years. I go, where am I going to put it? What do I want to do that kit for? But I'm telling you, the memories of being a kid again, building a model, using that glue, getting my fingers stuck together. Oh, it was a bomb. Just a lot of memories. I used the super glue instead of the plastic glue, which I probably should have used the plastic glue and had the full experience of getting high and everything, but I didn't. Side note, be careful with that super glue with this kit and the accelerator. I always like to do a little zap of the accelerator while holding the chains together and gluing these pieces together, which is fun. As a kid, I probably would have threw the chain and not used it. But as I was holding it and spraying that onto this hand, the two chemicals mixed and I thought my thumb was on fire. I'm finally getting finger feeling back today. So a little side note, if you're using accelerator and super glue and you're doing this kit and you're spraying them together, don't have the stuff on your finger because it hurts. So little side note, it may or may not have happened. Ouch. So that's it for this episode of Talking Models. I appreciate you stopping in and checking this video out. I appreciate you if you would subscribe to this channel and just get the word out about this channel and everything we're doing here. And again, I thank you so much for your support, just for your comments. Any questions, please hit me up. And again, thank you for stopping in and Talking Models. And may the Lord bless your day.